Welcome back to On the Record. We're here at the Hockey Hall of Fame as part of the Worldwide Partners Conference with Microsoft. And I'm here with Ciaran Rowsome. Did I get it right?
Yeah, Ciaran.
Ciaran.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best. And you're the CEO of FlexTime, and that's out of Ireland.
That's right, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
And we're sitting here in the Hockey Hall of Fame with, everybody who sees this knows whose number that is, in the old wool sweaters and things like that. What does FlexTime do?
Yeah, as the name might suggest, FlexTime is about FlexTime, flexible working. And we started back in the 1980s explaining to people what it is all about. But the concept is to allow the employee an element of control over their working lives. And to use that more modern expression, it gives them a work-life balance. So, for instance, instead of having to crowd into the office every day at 9 and go home at 5 o'clock, now with the flexible working, you can have what they call a bandwidth of hours, so people can arrive quite early to work and work later in the day, and then the next day they can come in late and leave early, that sort of thing. The concept is that there are several parts of the day. There's the flexible bands at the beginning of the day. So say between 7 and 10. So you can come to work at any stage between 7 and 10. And then you can go home, if you like, any time between 4 and 7. And in the middle of the day, you can have a 2-hour lunch or a half-an-hour lunch or a 55-minute lunch, whatever it will be. But you must be there during the core period, which is what we call sacrosanct. You must be there during the core period between 10 and 12 and 2 and 4. And the effects of that is it gets people to, if you like, concentrate their communications during a core period, which is good for efficiency anyway. And a further component is that it allows them to build up time during the month. So because they've got this sort of flexibility, it isn't so difficult to build up time. And then once you build that up, you can get what's called a flexi day and take that time off in the month, and it's for yourself then.
You've automated all of this, basically?
Yeah, well, what I've just explained, I suppose, is the concept, but then there's a system. So we've designed a system. In the old days, it was kind of very hardware-oriented. Now it's all web-enabled, and the employees can clock at a PC, a mobile phone, a touchscreen, and so forth. It's all very modern in the way that you can do this stuff. The subject has also moved on from flexible working hours to flexible working location. So organisations are increasingly offering the employee, if you like, control over where they work. But then the problem for that is that, where are they working? So therefore, our system can tell you where people are working, and they can key in from home, for example, through the system to say, hello, I'm here. And they can key out as well from home. So there's two sides to the story now in comparison to, say, 20 years ago. It was just flexible working hours, now it's flexible working locations, and only technology has sponsored that. The advances that have been made in the technology in the last 20 years are allowing us to do things that we couldn't have done before.
So you started in Ireland. What other countries are you in now?
Yeah, we work in the UK as well. We've got quite a lot of systems in, for example, the University of Birmingham are a big customer. Universities like this idea, and insurance companies, state bodies, private sector companies, they warm to it. It's usually depending on the individual HR policy in the company or the mentality of the organisation. We would say the more progressive companies are doing this.
I would tend to agree, but I've been doing it for 11 or 12 years now, so, and I'll tell you one thing, I would never ever go back.
Yeah, I know, that's a comment that we get from all our customers. In fact, in 30 years, nobody has ever stopped doing flexible working.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You're here at the Microsoft Worldwide Partners Summit.
Yeah.
Do you expect to be doing work in North America?
Absolutely. I was here also in November at the GTEC exhibition in Ottawa, which is to do with the government technology. So we've met Canadian companies that we're meeting this week. So in some sense I'm wearing two hats. One is the Canadian hat and the other one is the international hat through the Microsoft partnership conference that we're at this week.
You've also attended some government events in the US?
We were at the conference, not so much government, but the same conference last year in Los Angeles, for Microsoft. The reason why we are interested in the Microsoft aspect is our system is built in a Microsoft framework, in the sense that we use Microsoft SQL and IIS, which is to do with the internet. But we've also done things with the system that allows Microsoft users to see their time in the Microsoft system. For instance, time recording is very calendarized, so therefore employees can book time off through the system from their boss. Well, we can send that information over to the Microsoft calendars, which is they're more familiar with. And there's loads of parts of the system that we're transporting over to the Microsoft world. And a benefit to us is that because we can do this, we can talk to partners, and they can then maybe offer something a little bit different to what Microsoft normally offers.
Okay, so my last question. You were talking to me earlier today about government officials.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me that. I'm not going to say it, but I'll never do it as good as you.
Yeah. Okay, we were asked by the Irish Parliament to introduce flexible working, which we did. And then as a second step, they said, we've got another idea, is we want to record the time of the politicians. So now all the members of the Parliament, what we call the TDs, or they call them MPs in the UK, and all the senators must clock in at our system in order to qualify for their expenses. And if they don't get their expenses.
You gotta love it, eh? It's about time somebody's get them. Now we can just get an honest politician. Will be all that much better.
Yeah. Then we're out of business.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.